What's up, everybody? Welcome to Paper Battles. Today we're taking a look at good old Teach versus Reiju. Looks like Reiju did win the die roll. Forcing Teach to go first is what Reiju likes to do best, is what honestly anyone wants to do against Teach. Gotta force them to go first. Don't give them their optimal curve. We're gonna see one of the best cards come out on turn one. Ban the stage. That's right. I'm saying it. I'm brave. Ban the stage. Full lead, too strong in Teach. Teach doesn't need 3 searchers. All right, he doesn't need it. But anyways, we see stage come down, gonna find a stronger, and then we're gonna see Reiju come down. Reiju, this is gonna be a hard matchup for Reiju for sure. Not having on plays incredibly good against Reiju. Almost all of their effects are on plays. Being able to force Ichiji not to have rush, incredibly strong here. But we pick up a removal spell, and with a little bit more down to work with swing 5k. Just gonna take that one here. Maybe an indicator of Reiju looking for something. Reiju not often take the first hit. We're gonna see another searcher. Gonna look top 3. Gonna add a. I think that was 7-drop Teach to hand, and we're gonna start layering out the yard because we definitely have a Burgess coming at some point here. We're gonna play out a Dock Q, just pitch for leader effect. So nice enough. This Blackbeard player, our resident Blackbeard player, has a little indicator on board to tell you whether or not he uses the Teach ability. If that card is sideways, Teach's ability is on, and there are no on plays. And now we're gonna see an Ichiji come down. Reiju, oh no, got all the cards. But unfortunately, not going to be able to have rush here, and not going to be able to do some power minusing as well. That part doesn't matter so much, but the rush definitely does here. Reiju is trying to get on board as fast as possible here to start swinging with these 7Ks here to make good old Teach's life harder. But Teach going to activate stage with the top 3. Try to find something nice here. Pitches a 10-drop. Going to just find a Burgess. Likely going to start establishing some Burgesses here. This is a potential opportunity for Reiju, who's potentially running Black Bug to start bottom decking some nice little targets here, and those specifically are the Jesus Burgesses. But instead we're gonna see a Kuzan come down. Kuzan is likely just gonna pass the turn back, maybe thinking about activating already, but honestly could just wait a turn, not really in a huge hurry to get it back out. But I think just thinking here, what is the potential play? Teach of a pretty hard deck to play. I know I used to meme about it and joke about it, but after playing it myself, you definitely there's a whole lot of decision trees for sure to make this work. But it looks like we thought about it for a bit. We're just gonna cash in the Kuzan. Gonna grab something from the yard instead here of just putting the Burgess into play. Well, you would have to have the Burgess in the yard, right? But could have potentially oh, okay, instead going for the removal on Reiju. But yeah, I guess one play pattern that you usually see with Kuzan, and that's what I thought he was going to be going for here, is you pitch the leader ability and then you activate Kuzan's effect to grab back whatever you pitched. But instead it looks like we're going for the more removal plan here. Looks like we're going to see a 6k going to 6, just going to counter out of that. We're going to potentially see a 7k going to 6 here, and if it does, it will clean it up. And yeah, we're going to get rid of that card. Going to draw a card off of its on KO effect. And we're just going to play on another Ichiji. Do we have the other one here? Yep, we have another 7-drop. Going to draw a card off Reiju's ability here. And now this one is the blocker. But now it's 2 7-drops on field without any cost reduction. I think there was a little bit of a hope that, I mean, technically the Van Augur did serve as a pretty nice blocker for Teach. Teach still sitting pretty healthy and only having to commit 1k here. But we're going to see the Kuzan blocker picked up. This is the new Kuzan blocker from the new Teach starter deck. It is a 6 cost that can grab back a 5 cost or less Blackbeard Pirates character and put it into play rested. Pretty solid here. As we see a 5k, just going to get a 1k counter out of Reiju's hand. And now with a little bit more to work with, we are on the 7th on turn. Going to play out a blocker and then play out the Kuzan. So that is the Caribou blocker. It is a 2k counter, but it does have a 2k counter blocker for 1, but it does have an on play of trashing 2 cards. Notably, Blackbeard does not have on plays. He negates himself, so you can play that out. Pretty awesome include from OP11 for Blackbeard decks. But 2 blockers on board. One of them could bring back a Burgess, so something you definitely got to think about. Could also bring back the Katarina Devon. That Katarina Devon could give itself double attack, and you might be in a pretty awkward spot if you don't have enough counter in hand. So we're going to see a 7k go out lead. It's going to be a trigger. Going to look at top 3, search up a nice little 2k. And now likely we're going to see some more swinging here, but again, we got blockers, so maybe not too afraid from Blackbeard's point of view, as they're going to go into the 9 Dawn turn in the next turn. We're going to see a 7k swing. Are we going to block with the probably makes more sense to block with the Caribou first, save the Kuzan blocker for the last swing here, just so we know we won't have to give up any cards if they potentially swing into something. Though now, if the Burgess comes out, that Burgess is an 8K, right? So they would have to commit some Dawn on the other Ichiji to be able to clear the Burgess. But yeah, we're gonna, yep, alrighty. Gonna just block and counter, so give him the 2K instead. And then now if we decide to swing into the Kuzan, we could just use the blocker Caribou to take care of it here. And Teach sitting pretty well right now, kind of going into the 9 Dawn turn, but likely going to see the Burgess come out, and that Burgess is going to start going to town on the board here. We're going to see a 7K into the Kuzan. I think that's exactly what potentially Kuzan wanted actually to happen here, because now you can bring out something else. So you can bring out the Burgess here. Can we bring out the Kuzan with the Kuzan? Now, oh man, you're gonna make me look up a card here. Is that an actual play? You know what? He's our resident Teach player, so I trust him. But in the other turn, I don't trust him, so I'm checking. Character card. Yeah, it's any card. Wow. So that's just me not understanding the cards. That's our resident Teach player. He got top 8 in the regional, so I don't try to doubt him very often. But yeah, that card is stupid. All right, now that I've read it again, it can just pull back anything, even himself, even the other one. So gonna be drawing a card and putting something else into play off Kuzan, which is incredibly good for the Blackbeard deck. Trying to grasp a bit of hand size here and continue to pull out some targets. Gonna use the stage effect to find a nice little searcher here. They're not doing much on this turn, right? This is just a derpy turn where you're just gonna be searching, looking for Teaches before the Teaches start coming down here. But look at top 3. It looks like there's another Kuzan blocker there, as well as a 2-drop blocker. Maybe got a little bit of a different play that they're going to make with the rest of their Dons. So just grab the 2-drop blocker here. And are we going to see... we could potentially see the Kuzan into a Van Augur, especially... Well, now that... okay, now that 7-drop Teaches on the board, could play the Van Augur, but I think we're going to leverage into a Burgess instead. But being able to clean up the Chopper means we can start doing some swinging here. And we're going to see a... So we saw an activation of good old Vinsmoke Ichiji's effect, giving plus 1k to your character by milling 2 cards if you only have Germa cards. So specifically, Chopper had to be gone if for that 7-drop blocker Ichiji to actually have an effect, because it does require you to have all Germa cards. But we're gonna see a 6k. Gonna use it, get a 2k out of hand. Gonna see a cash in of the Kuzan. Gonna draw a card, grab something back. Now there's a little bit of a thought process of do we score the Augur here? Augur plus Teach, not necessarily enough to clear the Nijis or the Ichijis, but if we start playing anything else, you can clear pretty much anything on the board. But putting a Burgess into play is just going to allow the Blackbeard player just to do a whole lot of work here. So we're going to see an activation of good old Doc Q to clean up the Sanji here. But Burgess being a big boy, Burgess is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5k. So it's a 10k Burgess here. This is looking pretty tough. We've got an 8k body on board that can clear your 3 or lesses, a 10k swinger, as well as a blocker as well. So Teach's board coming together here as Reiju's just sitting on 7ks. So we could poke Teach a few times, right? You could go just 7k, 7k, 7k. Well, at least one of them is going to get blocked, but you are going to set Teach down to 1 life, which... It's not 0, right? I think Teach feels pretty comfortable when they're sitting at 1 life, especially once they start resolving the Teach blockers here. But trying to get Teach down as fast as possible may still be the play here. We're going to play the Gamma Knife. Gamma Knife's going to -5 to the good old Teach. Going to set Teach down to a 3 cost here. So I think we're just going to go for the clear Teach turn. You could now just swing a 5k, immediately get the blocker out, swing a 7k, clean up the Teach, and the other 7k at lead. Could be the potential play here. As nothing else is going to have rush. But where is Blackbug at? Blackbug would be a great card. I'm not sure if Reiju's running it. This specific Reiju build is running Blackbug, but Blackbug is a way to clean up Burgess pretty effectively as an event that's searchable in the Germa deck. But we're going to see what ends up happening here. That good old Teach is a current 3k right now. So we might just see a 5k ping into it first before we do anything else. Got a bit of Dawn left as well, 6 Dawn open. I think Reiju has to right now decide whether killing the Teach is worthwhile, because if he does kill the Teach, it pretty much confirms that Blackbeard's going to have a 10-drop next turn, because that Teach does have an on KO to add a black card to your hand. Any black character card from your yard to your hand. So instead we're going to see the 6K go into lead here. I think we almost decided to just start poking the 7-drop Teach, but man, do we really want to give Teach an immediate 10-drop? As it looks like there's none in hand right now. 7K. All right, we're going to send the 7K in. And Teach not even going to block. He's letting that go because we're getting 10-drop Teach to hand. And now we got 10-drop Teach. So it maybe would have been worthwhile just to ignore the Teach at this point and just swing all at lead here. Try to set leader down to at least one. With 2 bodies on board. Now you do have to have quite a bit of counter to save one of your bodies here, because that Burgess is going to be swinging pretty hard here. We're just going to counter that one and stay at 2 life, which is a pretty comfortable spot. We're going to Portia, does nothing. We're going to play Reiju. We're going to activate Reiju's effect just to put another big Reiju in, even though it has no on plays. Very unfortunate to see Reiju sitting at 1 card. No cards for you, poor Reiju. Teach is going to go up to 10, which means it's party time. It's Big Daddy time. Time to play out good old 10-drop Teach. We're going to use a stage activation. Just trying to look for something pretty nice. I think we're just going to continue to hold the black hole in hand as a way to potentially clear a blocker if we need to, or negate a blocker. We're looking at top 3 here. Oh my, oh my goodness. Was that a liberation that was just found? They're honestly in a spot where liberation does work, right? If you didn't want to go for the Teach, but honestly at this point, I think you're just taunting to show the liberation, like, haha, I could have done it. But instead, I'm just going to pick up a 2K, and I think Teach is definitely coming down this turn. Teach is going to come down, probably negate the Ichiji blocker, right? I think if you negate the blocker, that's probably pretty good here, because you can negate its effect. But we're just going to see a big old swing, cleaning up the 7-drop Ichiji. The Teach is going to come down and clean up the other one, right? So to negate its effects and stop it from attacking. We're going to see an activation of leader effect as well. And yeah. Just turn stock Q sideways for funsies. And pass back to Reiju's turn. Reiju got 2 bodies, 2 5Ks, but we got 2 life on Teach as well as a 2K that we saw go to hand. So I think Reiju's in a pretty bad spot right now. Leader ability will never turn back. You will never get on plays for the rest of this game. For those who kind of see a board state at this, you probably figure it's probably garbage time. But we'll see what ends up happening here as we see a 7K swing go into lead. Definitely want to play around that 2K counter from hand. But we'll see what ends up happening. I think Teach is probably pretty comfortable to just take this one. Because why not, right? You're going from 2 to 1, not a big deal. I think we're gonna see an 8K swing now. Gonna get blocked. We're just gonna swing another 8K. They're gonna take that one. Teach is down to 0, but I think we're in a pretty good position now to if they could just play the other Teach down, right? Negate the blocker. They could also just black hold to negate the blocker. Black hole doesn't have to kill to negate its effect. So we could just negate the effects of Ichiji and just swing past it and just hope we have enough. With only 3 cards in hand on Reiju's side, pretty unfortunate, pretty bad spot for Reiju here. We're gonna just use a activation of stage. Gonna grab another 2K, so just feeling pretty safe here. I think we have the second Teach already in hand. Yep, there it is in front. And yeah, I think we're sitting pretty here. We can just tap the 10, stun the Teach, swing. It's not perfect, right? You still probably want to clean up board, honestly, if you do play the Teach, just because you don't have enough to kill this turn, right? Unless Reiju's completely bricked, you're not, that 5K leader swing's not going to get through, and then the other 2 will just take lives. So Teach, I think, is still it's potentially the play, right? That's why I say Teach is so hard, right? You could just slam down the Teach, but you also have black hole. Black hole. If you just go for black hole instead, right? You black hole, you can swing 11 or 11 12. Yeah, I think that's the play here. So gonna negate the abilities. We're gonna swing a 10K instead. Gonna leave one up for funsies. Gonna swing 12K. Gonna take that one, and then gonna activate Teach's ability to set Burgess up to a 12 or 13, and that's gonna be it. Unfortunately, Reiju has a very hard matchup into Teach. Teach just able to shut down, and yeah, yeet. I'm gonna leave that in there. But anyways, can you tell Reiju was mad? Anyways, that's how I'd feel if I played Reiju into Teach too. But yeah, if you enjoyed this content, definitely subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.